Most agencies wouldn't say this out loud, but I've been around for 15 years and I've talked to enough people, enough companies, enough owners, founders, CEOs who've been through enough agency work with the same complaint. And that is a lot of agencies overpromise and underdeliver. They overpromise what they can actually do in a period of time with which they actually can't pull it off. And I like to say that they make these claims so that the business owner can sleep better at night when they write the check. But instead of telling the truth, in that if you start SEO today and you haven't started it in 10 years and your competitors are ahead of you, it doesn't matter how good the agency is today. It's going to take 6 to 12 to 18 months. And that's notwithstanding what's going on with AI right now. People aren't willing to tell the truth. And so a lot of agencies sell based on their fear of the client not trusting the facts. And so we believe you get the truth, meaning whether you like it or not, you get the truth. You're not going to just start today. If you're running a marathon and you could be one of the fastest people on earth, if you're a Usain Bolt, assuming he is a marathoner, and he starts running in mile 1 and his weakest competitor is at mile 14, the chances of him catching that person is slim. And this isn't about catching that person. It's about finding your buyer in the market when you're ready to start an effective strategy. So unfortunately, agencies do a lot of overhyping and overselling to get their clients. And then when they turn the client away, the client gets frustrated. They just go on to the next client. And unfortunately, they leave people that I care a lot about, which is the small business community, mid-sized companies. They leave them carrying the bag of dollars spent without results. The first thing that comes to mind when a business owner is stuck and we start working with them is relieving them or releasing them of whatever their past failures may have been. You know, there's nothing honorable about taking a customer or a client through the ringer about what they did wrong or what they didn't know to do better along the way. So a lot of times we have to sort of bring down the emotion of their frustration. I wish I could say we've been successful because everybody shows up happy and then we make them happier. And that's just not the way it works. They show up to us unhappy, sometimes 2 or 3 times over. And so there's a lot of energy pent up. And so the first step is bringing them back to a state of calm and letting them know that there is a process. They just didn't necessarily follow it the right way or didn't have the right type of strategy in place. And so the first step is getting them to be calm and realize there is a way. We have a way. It's worked for a lot of people. Likely will work for you. We'll get started working on that as quick as we can, but it's going to be okay. It's really hard when a customer or a client wants a result faster than either your budget will allow or that the market will allow. And that is, unfortunately, it's tough. And we're going to have to be patient. And the reality is we have to tell people the truth. There are some agencies who will just make stuff up and hope and try, hope and pray. But that's not our approach. Our approach is to be very critically clear and honest with our clients about their story. It's not our story, it's their story. And it's not the market against them, it's their story. And so we just try to be honest about what it's going to take. And in many cases, it's about being patient with the process. You know, we look outside of things like marketing and we're always patient with the process, right? When a woman gets pregnant and they're expecting a child in a family, you have to be patient with the process. It's going to take 9 months. If you're a farmer and you own a crop and you're going to plant seeds in the spring and harvest in the fall, you got to let the process take its course. And unfortunately, there's a process to starting from wherever you are and getting to where you want to go in everything in life. And so it's not fun to talk about, but that's the truth of the matter. And someone who isn't willing to be patient with the process will usually find themselves running through to things, hoping things are better, believing things that are just not true. And that can end up in a train wreck for their business if they're not careful. Building trust with customers, I think, starts with transparency, being very transparent about what the situation is, what the issue is, what the strategy is going to be, how long it might take. B, it's going to be about keeping your word, doing what you say you're going to do, right? I grew up old school. It's really easy. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If for some reason you can't do it, tell them about it ahead of time. Don't just let the deadline pass and then you're apologizing for it later. But building trust is all about just keeping your commitments, right? I came from a school of thought, which is if you can't keep commitments to yourself, you'll never be able to keep them with others. And so it's about holding ourselves accountable daily to us as a team, doing the things that we do best on a daily basis, and then producing that work for the client. And that's really what trust is all about.